Hello, hello. Again. We're going to try to start this again and bring Raveena on. What's up, Raveena? As soon as she joins, then I'll do the introduction again. Hopefully my headset is working. Nope. It's not allowing me to accept it. Damn it. I wonder if there's something wrong with the Raveena, you might have to go live from your video because I don't know why I can't accept you. Sorry, everybody, we're having technical difficulties, so just give us a minute. Let me invite her. I'm going to invite you. Okay, I sent an invite to you. Did you get the invite? Yeah. Yay! All right, let me see if my hair won't be so crazy right now. All right, so I did an introduction. Let me try it one more time. All right, Raveena, can I get your last name again?
Raveena Adams, or you can call me Minor.
I can call you what?
Adams or Raveena Minor.
Raveena is a longboarder, roller skater, Cleveland local. She uses skating as a way to create awareness and advocacy for mental health, women, and trans rights. So, without further ado, welcome, Raveena. How's it going?
It's going great, but the wind is muffling the sound off, so I can hardly hear you.
Are you having trouble hearing me? I could take off the Bluetooth. Give me a minute.
I think that's better.
Okay. How's that? Can you hear me?
Period.
Okay. So, Raveena and I met through social media on the Extreme Quad Skating group on Facebook. And the first time that we interacted, Raveena accused me of kicking her out of the group. Now, what's hilarious is it wasn't me who kicked her out. It was another admin who kicked her out. But the fact that that's how we were introduced, most people who would believe that you were the one who did that would not want to have anything to do with you. But Raveena and I became friends afterwards. In fact, I was already on the road on tour at that time. And on my 11th month busy earning tour. So it was an amazing thing to have to randomly meet somebody who accused you of doing something you didn't, and then still maintain friendships with them, and then keep in touch with them throughout the months until you get to their town and meet them in person. I had no idea what to expect, but after meeting Raveena in person, I said, girl, you got to come join the team. And for after that first time hanging out and skating with her, I brought her on the critical medicine team. So we're going to talk about my experience skating with her later on and the time that we spent. But first, we will discuss about Raveena's life and background and family because she has an awesome family. Go ahead, Raveena. Tell us about your family.
Okay, my whole family. Okay, I grew up, with the black, you know.
Wait, Raveena, you're breaking up a little bit.
Oh, let me get a little. Okay, growing up, so black family, typical rest of the black family, so, but something was unique about me.
Raveena, we're still having trouble hearing you.
Hello,
Yes.
you can hear me now?
Yes. You
Okay,
may have to get closer to the microphone.
hold on. I have a probable.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. This is our first time doing anything like this, or my first time doing anything like this.
A little unprecedented. And I'm looking at the. Hold on, let me see if this works. Maybe I can hear you from here. Ding 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 ding.
Yeah, my headphones didn't work, and then your headphones do work. That's, of course, opposite.
Ironic. On the contrary,
Yes, there you go. Okay.
I can hear you clear and you can hear me clear.
Yes, for
Okay,
sure. Now you're clear.
that's okay.
So tell us about your family and your background growing
Um,
up.
typical black family, we were all just typical, African American culture. But something was different about me that stood out from the rest of the family. Growing up, we thought the American way was the way of life. How did I even come along? Okay, this is gonna be a this is gonna be a little history origin. How did I come on this planet Earth in this spot? Okay, all the slaves migrated north. That was one of my family ancestors. My father on the father's side came from Korea, East Asian. Okay, they all mate, and here I am. Bam, this is who I am.
So you're African American and Korean?
Yes, mixed with Korean. 75 African. I mean, 75% black, 25% Korean.
Wow.
You didn't know that?
No, that's super cool though.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, something was like unique about me and this family. Like everyone in my family just like do love to do typical things, work, pay the bills, going out every weekend, just typical regular people stuff, average Joe stuff. But something was unique about me. Growing up, we thought being gay was bad throughout my youth years. Like one of the worst things ever. So I didn't know who I really was until like 2008 when I started to act a little bit more feminine on the feminine side. Like during my school days, during my school years, my middle school, high school years, I started acting a little feminine because I seen like a male character with a dress on the like it's a video game. It was on the video game, and it was like a male character wearing a dress. So I was impressed, like, wow, and he looks like a real, like a girl. Like, oh my gosh, that is so awesome. And that what interested me. That what made me act a little more feminine. But I have friends. If I act a little feminine, my family or my friends going to say something or not feel comfortable about it. As years to come, I started to develop a little bi-curious. Like I was bi-curious in 2011, and I used to talk to guys in 2011. And as time goes by, my mother went from an all-out Karen bigotry until a tolerable, accepting person. It took her time because at that time, my mother don't even want me to dye my hair colors because it goes against the quote-unquote Christian rules,
Wow.
which I do not
Wow.
believe in.
Yeah, I met
Actually,
your
I got
mom, and your mom is awesome. She is awesome. In fact, when you see her, tell her I said hi. How was it that she went from such a conservative belief uh, to being so supportive of you, and not just as in your transformation, but also as a skater?
Some people be exposed to it a lot. They adapt to it. They learn about it, and they adapt, and sometimes have to deal with it, and they don't have a choice but to deal with it to the point they come to like tolerate it. Like, okay, it's whatever. So it's like it's slowly but surely people change better.
Uh-huh. That's great. Okay. So let's talk about your writing experience.
Okay, growing up as a teenager, during my school years, I used to study the maps and geographic locations, like where all the states are, where all the mountains at, where all the weather that take place in the state. Then I start, as time goes by, as I got a little older, I start studying the cultures and the politics area and the people as well, and to pretty much like the sociology of geography. So 2011, fresh out of high school, this is gonna be the funniest trip on a bike. I used to do long distance biking. So me and my friends rode our bikes 30 miles to Akron and 30 miles back. We started around 12 o'clock in the evening and the afternoon. Then we rode our bikes 20 miles in. Since I was a newbie, I was only 18 years old, fresh out of high school, like a fresh oven. Oh yeah, fresh out of high school. So 20 miles in, I start cramping. Like, oh my God, start cramping. Oh my God, and I'm cramping. Oh my God, and I'm cramping. And then I had no choice but to push. Then we went to Akron, and the sun was going down. It literally took us about 5, 6 hours. And here's the funny thing. Me and my old friends, we wore jeans, 85 degrees.
Uh-huh.
Jeans, baggy jeans. One of my friends was wearing jeans, because it was 2011. We were still fresh out of the 2000s decade. They was wearing like FUBU, Rockaware, with a long t-shirt and do-rags, riding their bikes with the two pegs, like the little B&M's bikes, all the way on this dirt path. As soon as we got to Akron, we only ate one hamburger. We only had $5 in our pocket. We only ate one hamburger and a couple of fries they shared. We did not.
Between the five of you?
I ate the whole hamburger. They were mad. They were mad that I was being a little selfish. I was hungry. So we had no choice but to push back. It was sunset. It was getting dark. So we decided to push back on our bikes, going northbound, and it got super dark. Flashlight went off. I was cramping up. One of my old jerkish friends decided to be a jerk and crashed into me, and I fell in the middle of the dark in the woods, screaming like, "Oh my effing God! Oh my freaking God!" Cramping up, and it was dark. You could hear weird sounds in the woods. And then in the whole trip back home, literally felt like a killer was coming after us because it was dark in the woods.
Yeah.
We didn't get back home. We didn't get back home till about 2 in the morning.
Uh-huh. Was your mom worried?
Hell yeah! But I was so tired when we got back to the Cleveland area. We had no money. This guy at the gas station decided to give us some snack. Okay, he had to go reach all the way in the back of a freezer just to get a couple of crackers that been expired. That must have been expired, and a little bit of grape. I ate that up. And I got back home. We decided to go back home. I was so tired I couldn't hardly move. As soon as we got back to the house, yo, I seen some good Asian food on the table, and I just indulged the whole thing up and just fell asleep right in the middle of the dining room floor and woke up cramping and could hardly move. I woke up about 7 o'clock in the evening. I was asleep for about 15 hours. And I was like, this is what's going to be like to bike far distance. So that what got me into.
After that experience, how were you even inspired enough to try it again? Some people would be like, hell no, not after that.
I was feeling really accomplished. I feel like I got my high school diploma all over again. I feel relieved, happy. Just feeling good the next day. Even though I was tired, but mentally I was satisfied. So, that what got me into long distance biking. So I did that same route years later, and I felt a lot better doing it. And then I biked 60 miles from Cleveland to Sandusky. That's probably the last bike trip in 2015.
Okay.
So I decided like I got a longboard in 2014. I was going back and forth to college with a longboard, using it as transportation.
Uh-huh.
As time goes by, subconsciously, I was thinking, what if longboarding become? What if I actually do long distance skateboarding just like I do on a bike? That was just an idea, right? So 2 years later, 2016, I decided to join this group called Long Distance Skateboarding Worldwide. So I was impressed how many miles they were pushing, like hundreds of miles. Like, how? I can't even push 10 miles on this board. So I got me a better board, like a new improved skateboard. And then summertime came, and that's when I actually did the same route from Akron, but from Akron to Cleveland one way. So I took the train
Oh, okay.
to Akron, and
Uh-huh.
I skated from Akron to Cleveland on the skateboard. And guess what? It worked.
Wow. How long
And
did that take
then
you?
that took me about 3 to 4, like 4 to 5 hours, depending on where I'm going, terrain. Because it was like 35 miles, so it's like 3 to 4 hours, sometimes 5 hour push, depending on the circumstances. What out like all the obstacles. So 2016, that was the year I got into long distance skateboarding. So my big skate trip in 2016 when I skated from Cleveland to Youngstown, Ohio. Youngstown, one of them small gritty towns in the eastern part of Ohio, northeastern part of Ohio, next to the Pennsylvania border. It's kind of like Cleveland, like smaller. And I skated all the way from there. It took me like 8 hours, and I skated to the Pennsylvania border.
Wow.
And that's what it was like around Halloween time. And it was a warm fall day. It was like 70 degrees. 2016. I had a red hair. I had a Harley Quinn outfit on, like a Harley Quinn T-shirt on.
And you did that dressed all cute? You did that
I
dressed
guess
cute? Did anybody like want to stop you and say like, "Hey, kid, get in my car"?
nah, cause I was kind of like Disney body, half cosplaying, and my hair was red. I had a little makeup on. I had like the choker on, like the chokers.
Uh-huh.
That's what it all started. And now let's skip all the way from 2017, because 2017 was kind of dull year.
Uh-huh.
Except for 2017. 2017, when I was doing some long distance pushing during the springtime, it was a killer on the loose, killing 15 people when I was skating
Mhm.
outside. It was around Easter. It was something, somebody said that. But it was actually a crazy man just took somebody's life in Cleveland. I was like
Yeah,
somewhere in
Cleveland
Akron.
is no joke.
So
It's no joke.
that was probably a 2017 moment. So I kind of like to say 2017 was not even interesting.
Yeah.
So except for that gun attack that happened to me in 2017, someone pointed a gun at me, and you know
Whoa.
what happened? I grabbed the gun, we fought, and he hit me a couple of times, and next thing I know, I ran off and hopped the gate, and he started being at me, and next thing you know, skateboard broke. That was that's what I don't want to talk about 2017. So here comes the fun start. Here
Okay.
comes the fun part.
Okay.
2018.
Yes. Okay,
After
2018. So we're talking like 4 years ago?
2018, my first big skate trip. I decided to skate in the anime cosplay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, what made you decide to do that?
After the New England Patriots lost the Super Bowl, and I said if Philadelphia Eagles win the Super Bowl, I will dress up as an anime girl and skate from Cleveland to Toledo in April.
That was your
Guess what?
reason? Was football? That's like so opposite of what I expected.
And that's what happened. I skated from Cleveland to Toledo. It took 2 days, 130 miles. I had like this blue hair, blue hair, and it was like she was an anime meme girl. Her name was Earth Chan. It's Earth Chan. She's a meme girl. Everybody was so hype about her back in them times, back in 2018. So I had on like the pink hair and her cosplay. And I skated 2 days from Cleveland to Toledo. So I skated from Cleveland. Like the landscape was flat. It was flat with a little bit of hills. The
Uh-huh.
weather was cold. The weather was cold. It was about 30 degrees in the morning, but the weather got better in 20. I mean, it happened around April 20th to April 21st.
Okay.
So on
So
the
it was
second day, the
spring.
weather was
Uh-huh.
yeah. The second day, the weather was nicer. It was like 50 something degrees because the first day was like 40.
Wow.
And yeah, that was my first big skate trip. I was so happy, so hyped, so confident. Then I got my college degree that same year.
Oh wow, what'd you study?
Associate of Arts degree, which it wasn't that much anyway. So let's go to 2019, the big stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
2019, I skated from Cleveland to Chicago while dressing in a kawaii pastel aesthetic. I was like in a all wearing all pink and had different pink outfits. It took 6 days. The weather was raining, and
Whoa.
don't and it could be cold at times. And it could be hot. And I got soaked up in my tent in the rain, and it was cold, like about 40 something degrees at night.
I read that. I read that caption. And you almost
But
got
hey,
hypothermia, right?
it felt like it. I
Whoa.
was all alone in the middle of the woods.
That's
I was between.
outrageous. That's
I
very
was in
brave
like.
but outrageous. Now I've
I was like.
uh-huh.
I was like. I was like in the Indiana border in Ohio. I was like in that area, white by Mexican.
Wow.
So that's 2020 is my other skate trip.
Wait. Before we move on to 2020, in the caption, I read that you had an issue with police. What was that?
Man, they keep pulling me up. Okay, I was in the Camp Sandusky one time, and I was playing music on my speaker, and the cops came because they said I was making loud noises and stuff.
Oh,
Oh,
so
because I'm
for
black.
noise disturbance, that's why they came to you?
I think that Karen told.
Oh,
Maybe because
yeah,
my skin color,
yeah.
and I also got stopped by a police skating pad going through Route 20 because they so-called concerned on my safety and the way I was dressed.
Really? So they stopped you based off of how you were dressed. Now, did they?
And it was like because the road was kind of like deemed unsafe.
Oh, so they stopped you while you were skating or while you were stopped?
While you're skating, and I seen
Whoa,
them coming up towards me. Like,
whoa.
was I racially profiled?
Well, I mean, first of all, you were. Did they? Do you think that they assumed that you were a girl?
Of course.
And that you were out there dressed cute and doing this stuff in the streets and maybe you were unsafe and they're just like, oh, this is just some girl. She doesn't know what she's doing out here, being so unsafe and blasting music. Maybe they thought that you were like somebody who just didn't know any better.
They thought I was like mental
Yeah. I mean, whenever I do long distance,
or
they
on
always think that
or
I'm
on
homeless.
or I'm on that D.
Yeah, yeah. They always think that I'm homeless. That's another question, okay? Because when I'm doing long distance, I cannot keep cute for anything. How do you stay cute and do long distance and like with so many miles, like you're sweating, you're pushing through, you're in pain. You know,
Yeah,
it's
sometimes I have to wipe
it's
myself
an
off and
extra
maintain it.
job just to make sure that your skirt is in the right place and your tights are on right and
Yeah, it's a lot to take care of. It's a lot. It's a lot of
yeah,
maintenance.
that's what I feel is amazing as well because I just throw some pants on, a shirt, and go. So that's
Now,
commendable. Yeah.
right, now let's go to 2020.
Let's do 2020.
Okay, 2020. Originally, this route was supposed to go to New York City, going through Pennsylvania, but I realized how tough that route is, and then COVID-19 hit, the pandemic, shutting everything down, and I had to like decide, should I really skate all the way through New York? So I was like, nope. I decided to skate across Ohio, the state of Ohio, Ohio, from Cleveland to Cincinnati, while dressed as this one character. She's a Pokemon trainer, Nesta. She's just like this water type gym leader with long hair, and she's dark skinned.
Wow. That's
And
super cool.
I had different outfits of her. So it took 4 days from Cleveland all the way to some parts of nowhere, Ohio, through Columbus to Cincinnati. And I did that one last skate trip from London, Ohio, because like somewhere outside of Columbus to Cincinnati. It took me like from 8 o'clock in the morning all the way to 12 o'clock at night. So just keep in mind, this skate trip I skated on a dark trail at
That's
night.
amazing.
This took place in fall, late September. So the crickets, you hear the crickets?
Uh-huh.
It sounds so beautiful, especially when you smoke that green,
Uh-huh.
you're just vibing. You feel like you're Nessa, you're vibing through the dark trail. And the dark trail, I finished this trip in dark trail at night. So I got to Cincinnati where it's lit, where it's light. And I made it to Cincinnati 12 o'clock at night as Nessa.
Wow.
That was 200 some miles. That was 280 miles.
Uh-huh.
The Chicago one was 350. That was the longest one so far. And the 2018 one was 130. So let's talk about the recent skate trip, 2021.
2021, okay.
E-Girl Skate Trip. That's the name.
Yes, I remember
This
it.
this skate trip is based off the E-Girl aesthetic. I become an E-Girl, wear E-Girl outfit and clothing, and I skate from Cleveland, Ohio to Niagara Falls, New York. You can hear me?
Yes. Cleveland, Ohio to Niagara Falls. Yes, I remember. I saw the distance. It was 57 miles, 57 plus miles.
No, it was 220.
Wait, why did I think 57? That must have been just one day you did 57
Yes.
miles. Okay, all right.
Yes.
So 220 miles.
Yes, E-Girl aesthetic. The first day I had on an all-black goth outfit. Second day I had the fiery outfit. And third day I had the pastel goth outfit. Save the best for last. And this route takes place on the beautiful coastline of Lake Erie on the shoreline. So you get the beautiful scenic views.
Yeah.
The weather was hot. I'm not gonna lie. The weather was hot for the whole 4 days of the trip.
Was there hills?
Yes. It was hills, literally. Like, this is probably one of the hilliest skate trips and the second most farthest skate trip behind Chicago.
Okay.
And I forgot to tell you about Chicago.
Yeah.
That last day on the Chicago trip, I encountered this one creepy road. It was really creepy. It looked old. It looked like it hadn't been used for years. And I was just skating through it. It's like grass was growing, and my feet ended up getting stuck in the water. And I had to walk in this whole swamp of water with my cute pastel outfit on.
Wow.
And I was in Michigan City somewhere around Indiana Dune National Park. You know where that is, right?
Uh-huh.
I was in that area.
Wow.
And not to mention the 2020 Ohio skate trip, the weather was perfect. It was 70 degrees that night. 70 degrees, and it only had cold nights, which that was in the northern part of Ohio, but it was super warm in southern Ohio. But back to E-Girl skate trip. Yeah, that was the last skate trip to Niagara Falls. The falls was beautiful, but the problem was it felt unfinished because the main goal was to skate to Toronto, Ontario. But since COVID, the borders has closed.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So that pretty much ended in Niagara Falls. could have went to Toronto if it was
Oh,
open.
well, I mean, I'm
Just,
sure you can accomplish that in the next few years, right? And go all the way.
yeah, yeah. Maybe I might just stop at my finishing point, then start at my finishing point, then go to Toronto.
Yeah. Yeah,
I could call it.
that's amazing. Um, and do you get harassed by anybody while you're on these tours?
Not really. I might
Nobody
get
bothers you.
compliments.
That's amazing, man.
I
That's so
might meet a
great.
couple of people. Maybe it's because my energy is different. Maybe I send out this good energy.
Yeah.
That's my goal, is to radiate this energy throughout different regions.
Wow.
And yes, all four of them skate trips.
Yeah. So you have a new skate trip that you're planning for the end of for this fall, right? Can you tell everybody
It's,
about that new skate trip?
it's about to be a big record breaking. It's supposed to be the final boss of this skate trip. Because the four ones are considered like the boss fights. Have you know, like you play video games and you have to like beat the bosses? Those four skate trips to me was like boss fight of skate trips.
Yeah.
So this is going to be the final boss. Big final boss.
The final boss. Okay. Tell everybody.
And I will say this: USA, coast to coast, skate across the entire country of the United States of America. Be
On
the
a
first black
longboard. Not
on a
roller
long
skates, on a longboard.
on a longboard.
Dressed
Be the
cute. Dressed
be
super
the first
cute.
be the first black woman to skate across the U.S.
It's amazing. What an
And
accomplishment.
that's going to be the biggest accomplishment, and that's going to be my way of saying I'm going to end my 20s off with the bang because I'm 29 years old. Period.
And when is your birthday?
February. Curious.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so you just turned 29. Wow, that's amazing. Okay.
Wait. What else? Yeah. That's going to be the big skate trip.
And
And that's
why
going to be
are
a
you
skate
doing
trip.
it? Can you tell? Because you blend advocacy with your skating. So why exactly? And I'm not saying that you skate for advocacy, but you blend it, right? So you're skating and you're like, I might as well have this represent something. So what is this U.S. tour gonna be? The long
All right.
distance.
Okay, me skating across the country. First off, this was a life goal of mine since I was a teenager, since I was a child, and I wanted to do it. I used to want to do it on the bike, but now I want to do it on the board now. Okay, I want to do this to raise awareness about racism, mental health issues, and advocate for the LGBTQ rights.
Yes.
And yeah, when I say that, like, when I mean by that, I combine it into one. And me skating across the country, this can like give me the outlook, and this like give me the outlook of what people are going through and what I'm going to be facing mentally and physically while I'm on this road skating, and all the stuff people went through, all the stuff that going on in my mind. I'm going to experience it to give me a clear understanding of an observation, to see how this country looks like, to like experience a whole
That's for sure.
crazy adventure.
That's one of the things that I experienced when I went on my 11-month tour. I started in Seattle, drove across the country, ended up in Atlanta, drove up the coast, ended up in New York, and then ended the tour in Arizona. And there were things that I saw and experienced that I would have never experienced. Even the small towns, I actually felt secure. It's in most of them. There were just very few places where I didn't feel safe. But you know, as a black female, it may end up being something different for you. It may be a different experience for you. For me, as an indigenous female, like some people see and they know, oh, there's a reservation nearby. Maybe they came from the reservation, but for you, they may be like, what is this? What is this human doing skating on a longboard dressed cute? So
I don't think I'm gonna dress cute this time. I'm rather just like only thing gonna be a little cute is my hair and a little bit of makeup on, maybe just a little accessories, and
uh-huh.
maybe just dress comfortably. Just dress comfortably,
Oh, okay,
comfortably.
yeah.
So
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
just gonna just
especially for that. Now, do you get sponsors for this? Do people like
uh
promote you or help you financially to
yeah,
as you
people
do
did.
this? Uh-huh. Uh,
That's why I'm starting another sponsor this after this weekend
uh-huh.
on my social media.
Yeah, that's so super cool. Okay,
So that I
so
want to like when I skate across the country, I'm going to experience everything. Like give me a clear outlook of everything. Like clear outlook of how the country really look like in person. Rather than driving, it looks different driving, but that's like artificial perspective. But when you literally skating
that's
through
so
these
true.
areas, it looks different. Like you don't, it looks
100% true. Yes.
unrecognizable.
Yes.
That's one of the reasons I want to see how this world looks like naturally,
That's true.
and I want to experience like all this, just have the experience that can challenge me mentally, physically, and spiritually, and I want to get a clear understanding of that.
That's amazing. Now, that's unusual. That's an unusual perspective. First of all, I don't know if there are very many people who think that modern black
This is how
women feel that way. Would it feel like, hey, I want to connect to the earth and I want to like, not just the earth, but this country and understand what it's like to feel to move from place to place because I understand that, but it's an internal thing. Nobody in my family commute skates. Nobody in my family really roller skates, to tell you the truth. So to have that be your thing is unusual, especially coming from a generation where you're more encouraged to be inside for entertainment, whether it's movie theater, video games, or even
going out
like
to a club, going out eating,
yeah, yeah. So
just typical stuff.
yeah, to have that desire is an unusual thing, and I think that somebody like you to share that story may hopefully inspire other people to take that chance and go out there to do some long distance skate. It doesn't even have to be from one side of the country to the other side of the country. It could just be from their house to the grocery store and back, you know. That could be something just completely that they do not do. You know, I gotta tell you, I was on
No,
I had made this response on an Instagram post talking about commute roller skating because I recently gave up my vehicle and decided to get back to commute skating.
explore
Yeah,
the outdoors,
yeah. And
fresh air, because
somebody said to me, "Oh, well, that's easy for you to say, city slicker." But I also lived in Mississippi. What do you do in the rural parts of the country where there's less roads? Like when you're traveling, do you look to see it? Do you end up having to go through dirt roads ever? Or do you know already that it's a paved road and what kind of paved roads? Like, is it a rough paved road sometimes? Like, are there
it's all
times when you've
mental.
got to pick up
It's
that board
it
and
could be
walk it?
stressful at times, but if you keep pushing forward, you will get through it. It's all these skate trips, all four of these skate trips I've been on has challenged me mentally. It has challenged me physically, mentally, and also spiritually. In the end, after I complete it, I go home feeling happy and brand new.
That's beautiful. Okay, let's talk about your other interests really quickly. Can
All
we talk
right,
about your other interest? Your
all
interest,
right.
you like anime, cosplay,
Video game,
you like video games and amusement
roller coaster,
parks.
and the music parks. Oh yeah. Okay. Me like an anime. came just as quick as I love amusement parks. So when I was 12 years old, me and my friends used to play Pokemon and Nintendo GameCube, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and all that, watch Dragon Ball Z and stuff. At the same time, I was looking up roller coasters at on my computer in school. On the computer in school, see how high some of these roller coasters are, how fast they go, and where they are located.
Wow.
And when I was at that age, at that time, my family are not into amusement parks. Going to amusement park was like a privilege to us, and it's like a luxury when you go out to one out of town, right? And me and my friends, I'm gonna like combine all the amusement park and anime stuff together. So I'm gonna like speed it up, make it quick. So at the same time, I was just into anime throughout my teenage years, dressed a little emo. I had a little emo phase in me. And I also loved amusement parks. So I used to go to Cedar Point and Geauga Lake. That's only two parks I went to throughout my teenage years until Geauga Lake closed down. Rest in peace. And throughout that time, I was playing Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. And all this anime stuff and all this roller coaster and amusement park stuff didn't really come through until I was like in my adulthood. Okay? When I was 23 years old, I went to a first anime con in Columbus, Ohio. At 24 years old, I was working at Cedar Point Amusement Park, and I had access to ride every roller coaster. I was working there during the holiday weekend,
Wow.
so I was riding as many roller coasters as I can on my free time. It felt like a luxury, and that what made me a coaster enthusiast. In 2018, I combined anime and coasters because there was an anime convention I used to go to in Sandusky, Ohio. We'd go there the first day and the second day, then we go to Cedar Point afterwards. Then we went to Kennywood, then I went to Kings Island in the year of 2018. I was pretty much doing a lot of stuff, starting to live my best life in 2018. Went to Kennywood, went to Kings Island. In 2019, and I skated from Cleveland to Chicago. A person, after the trip from Cleveland to Chicago on that skate trip, a friend took me in and we went to Six Flags Great America the next day, me and my friend. He treated me there. It was like a celebration. Then we went to Chicago the next day. We went to a Japanese restaurant and ate some good Japanese food.
Yeah.
And 2020 came, everything was shut down. Before 2020, we went to Ultra Skate in Miami. Ultra Skate was in 2019. That was my first Ultra Skate. And Ultra Skate 2020, Ultra Skate 2022. So we talk about Miami Ultra Skate as well?
Yes. And before you get to that, I want to know, why did you get into roller skating?
Okay. It was in my thought for a long time. 2019. I just didn't know how to really get into roller skating at the time because I was a skateboarder throughout the whole time. 2021 came and I got into roller skate. It was a birthday gift.
Okay.
And my roller skate, I just wanted at least my feminine side to have that girliness in me, because, I can have the best of both worlds. Skateboarding and roller skating.
Yes. Wow.
So I can have best of both worlds to
okay,
really
cool. So talk about ultra skate now.
Okay, Ultra Skate. Ultra Skate 2019 was my first Ultra Skate.
Explain to everybody what it is first. Not everybody knows what this is. This is going to blow people's minds.
Miami Ultra Skate is a 24-hour Ultra Skate located in the Miami Speedway in Homestead, Florida. Let me repeat that again.
4 hours.
24 hours Ultra Skate. When you skate around this Miami Speedway track for 24 hours straight. This does not mean you're going to be doing it forcefully, you can do it if you want to see how many miles you can push in 24 hours. So, my first ultra skate, 2019, I dressed up in goth outfit. It was like a goth attire, more like witchy, more witchy like the spookiness, like the spooky aesthetic. So I skated 154 miles in 24 hours. My first ultra skate. It was a cold morning and a cold night, but the weather was fine during the day. And I had cramp in there, had a little bit of, went through a little bit of stuff, but I managed to get fourth. I only got fourth place in Miami Ultra Skate 2019, 154 miles.
I saw that. That's amazing. For fourth place, still 154 miles is outrageous.
And that was the same year I skated from Cleveland to Chicago, just to let you know.
Wow. Yeah, I saw that you do multiple long distance within the year.
Every year I do something big.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
so
it is incredible.
Yeah.
Definitely. And in Ultra Skate 2020, before the pandemic hit, January of 2020, I decided to go to Ultra Skate again, second year, and dress as a kawaii pastel doll. This to give a homage for my skate trip of Cleveland, Chicago, as a pastel doll.
But
so it was like a little homage.
Can I ask you how do they feel about you showing up in cosplay to race? When everybody else is like probably in racer gear and like being all serious and official, like how do they feel? Is it like just something fun? Do they not take you seriously or?
Sometimes you gotta have fun and live your best life. That's all it is.
But I mean, the other competitors or even the people who
I seen somebody with a costume on. I seen somebody with a fireman costume.
Oh, really?
Before.
That's super cool. Okay.
I see somebody with one of them, them funny dinosaur outfits.
Yeah.
A dinosaur mascot.
Yeah,
I see somebody skating that. So yeah, it might not be a big surprise to me, but my aesthetic popped. Like people saw that I was wearing all pink. So I'm Ultra Skate 2020 when I dressed as a kawaii pastel girl. I skated 100 and wait. I skated 160 miles. Wow. Personal record breaking. Wow. And I'm gonna tell you, the weather conditions was not in our favor. The weather conditions was rain throughout the day.
Yeah.
Then wind at night was just blowing like heavy wind, high wind, heavy rain and high winds.
Okay, so wait, what time does the competition start?
8 in the morning to 8 at night.
To 8 at night? That's not.
I mean, wait. Take that back. 8 in the morning to 8 in the next morning.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I wasn't using my full brain.
Okay. Damn, so a full 24 hours, 8 in the morning to 8 in the next morning. On the racetrack.
Yeah, speedway racetrack they use for the NASCAR?
Yeah. Do you race against other boarders or bladers too?
Every boarder, and every bladers have their own division.
Oh, okay.
So we're racing with them, but not against them.
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay.
So yeah, back to 2020 Ultra Skate. High winds, heavy rain, and a ripped Achilles attendant. Despite all that,
that's crazy.
I still got 160 miles. That was my highest and my most personal record. And despite that, I only got fourth place.
Yeah.
Again.
That's outrageous. You don't know what first place did you?
We could talk about that after this Ultra Skate 2020. I was in the kawaii pastel, so remember, after we stopped talking about Ultra Skate, then I can let you know, before we move on, I can tell you about all the aesthetics, the alternative aesthetics and stuff.
Okay.
So, after Ultra Skate 2020, me and my godmother, we went to Busch Gardens, Tampa, as a celebration. Amusement park in Tampa.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much
You
it.
told me
Then
your godmother is amazing as
she's like
well.
my second mom.
If you want to talk about your godmother for a minute, because
My
uh
godmother met me in 2017.
huh.
Since then, she has changed my life. Cause you know my main mother, she don't want to go out have fun. She don't like driving her. She's like the lazy side. So my godmother, we did a
Your
lot
mom works
more
hard
things.
though. She
Five
sticks to
years,
home. Yeah.
we did more stuff in 5 years than my mother ever done in 20 years.
Wow. And your godmother is a trans woman as well, right? Did she become your godmother because you needed that type of support?
Pretty much, the universe was looking out for me,
Yeah, that's a blessing. You are truly
and
blessed
that
in multiple ways.
this is the reason why I'm a happy person. Because if it was for her, I'd probably be a depressed emo in the bed, or maybe I might better myself and do things similar but more alone.
Yeah. Yeah, because
So
there'd be people that you wouldn't feel like you could relate to.
of course,
Hey,
even though I can,
go ahead.
even though we can get on each other's nerves, but she is my mother, my second mother, and I still love her for who I still love her no matter what we do to each other. Because sometimes like she can make me a little mad. Like, come on, man, hurry up, stuff like that. I have no patience, so I have no chill. That's just me. Because I like being hyped, keep moving and going and going and going and going. That's me.
Okay, really quickly, let's talk about my experience while I was there in Cleveland with you. Okay, so first of
Hmm.
all, I'd never met Raveena before, and the first time that we interacted, she thought that I had kicked her out of a skate group because that I was an admin on, and I actually worked really hard with Harry Span, who is from. Um, I think the Netherlands, to get Raveena back into the group because we were like, no, this isn't right. Like, whoever kicked her out is just that's not cool. So we worked really hard to figure out how to get Raveena back into the group, and I let Raveena know, hey, I'm on tour. If I come through Cleveland, let's meet up. I'll give you skate lessons in exchange for a place to stay, not knowing what to expect, right? Because that's half of the tour is, especially when you're gone for 11 months, you have no idea who's going to host you, who those people are sometimes, and you've never met them before. So I get to Ravina's place, and I'm like, okay, this is okay. And she's like, I don't know. My mom doesn't know that you're coming. And I was like, wait a minute. You did not tell your mother that I'm going to be staying with you? and, and I was like, maybe this wasn't a good idea. Maybe I should keep going to the next. No, 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 no. It's okay. It's okay. I'll talk to her right now. So we literally had to walk up to the house while she asked her mom if it was okay for me to stay there. And then eventually her mom was okay and cool with me staying there. I felt so bad. I was like, yeah, but you don't understand. Like, it's COVID right now. I don't blame your mom if your mom doesn't want to host me, and she ended up being really cool, and we bought food. We went to the Mediterranean place and bought food, and Raveena knows all the best skate spots. I mean, she took me to all the best skate spots in Cleveland, and while we were shredding around, she was just like, watching me skate, like, and I was like, what do you think? What do you think about my skating? You're okay. And then we'd go to harder spots to skate, and she'd be like, okay, that was impressive, okay. And then we get to harder spots, and then she'd be like, all right, you're good.
I was a baby skater at that time.
Yeah, she was like, all right, you're good, all right. It took us like by the end of the week, before I had to move on to Columbus, she was like, it took her that long to be like, all right, you're good. But my favorite story with Raveena was my car issue, because Raveena doesn't have a car. And I had a car and I had to drive us everywhere. But something happened to my car and I have no idea what it was, but it was only going 30 miles an hour. That was the most we could go. But it was kind of a blessing. It was like maybe no more than 40 miles, like 30 to 40 miles an hour. And because we were on the roads, instead of taking the freeway, we just took all of the side roads, all of the back roads, and all of the back roads for Cleveland are only 35 miles an hour. You can only go 35 miles an hour on all the streets. So here we are, and the car slowly starts getting speed. And we start taking off. And nobody knows that the car can't go faster because all the roads are 35 miles an hour. Usually, because I'm in California, man. I'm from California. I will speed. I will go 50 miles an hour down a 35-mile-an-hour street. We would have ended up with so many tickets in Cleveland. But because the car would only go 30 to 40 miles an hour, we were stuck going so slow and nobody went around us. In California, people would be like, why are you driving so slow? Oh my God, in Cleveland, everybody was like responsibly driving. Oh, that's just a responsible driver. Like, no, we just really can't go faster than this. And it never bothered Raveena. And what's hilarious is that we hustled with our, you think that we were afraid. I was afraid that my car was going to just stop somewhere. And I told Raveena, hey, if something happens, we may have to call your mom or take a bus to get back to the house. And so Raveena was there. Raveena had my back, man. Raveena took care of me. For all of you who need to know, Raveena and her mom took care of me while I was out there. And it did not bother Raveena that the car was only going 30 miles an hour. Do you remember that? And there we were. I felt like we were, if we were in California, it'd be like, you guys are like low riders, you know, just going really slow and cruising, like as if we were cruisers. We were cruising, literally cruising from one part of Cleveland all the way to the other part of Cleveland. Cruising, like no more than 35 miles an hour to get to each skate park, and we made it.
Wow, that is so like funny.
That was my favorite experience with you.
Oh my. Welcome to Venus World.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was one of the moments of 2021. Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
now I'm going to ask you questions that my mom wanted to ask. So I asked my mom, I'm interviewing Raveena. Is there anything that you would want to ask? So one of the questions was, um, what do you think about when you long distance skate? What are you thinking about? Because you're already on the road, so what things are on your mind while you're out there?
Well, when I'm pushing on the road, cruising on the roads, bike trails, country roads with the bike lanes, I be thinking about video game characters, creating video game characters. Like, I am this one black girl with a lightsaber and just slicing people up on the game. Or I am a cowgirl superhero that could fly through space like a comet in space. Oh, I can think stuff like that. I be thinking about like a lot of awesome stuff, action stuff like that, like stuff like that.
Okay, the next thing she wanted to ask was, do you have any stories that may give you hope in humanity while you're long distance skating? Like, does somebody reach out and help you unexpectedly
Of course.
and give you
Um,
hope in humanity?
of course, this one person I was skating and I was taking a break inside McDonald's and this one person came up was a motorcycle guy. He asked me, I seen you skate all the way from there, this to that and there. We had a little conversation. He gave me, and he offered me, and he bought me breakfast. He traded me, not breakfast, but bought me a meal from McDonald's.
Oh, that's sweet.
hmm
Wow, that's super
And
sweet.
and when I like skate across certain distance, and I get a better, like a clear, more clear outlook of how people treat you, you get a better perspective of humanity.
Uh-huh.
Like it's not really that bad in person, but like media portrays humanity as a sick, twisted, demonic world.
Yeah.
In real life, it's a whole different story. It's just like it all depends on the person for real, for real.
Okay.
People have different experience to have a different outlook on certain things.
To skate these long distances, my mom also wanted to know, do you have a skate regimen? Do you have an exercise regimen, like a fitness regimen?
I mean, I go to the gym. I might skate around. That's pretty much it. Eat healthy food, high fiber meals. You know, got to keep my body in shape. Maintain my body in shape.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Okay, does anybody in the audience have any questions for Raveena?
But first,
Yes, go ahead.
we did not mention Ultra Skate 2022.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Okay,
that already happened. Okay, I forgot about that. Go ahead.
Ultra Skate 2022. So I skipped 2021 due to COVID. So you know, we had to skip that year off. So 2022 Ultra Skate was a unique Ultra Skate experience. Okay, this alternative aesthetic is pastel goth. So I dressed in pastel goth look, pastel goth aesthetic. It's a combination of both two past Ultra Skates. The first Ultra Skate was goth, and the second Ultra Skate was pastel kawaii. And this is a combination of both. Ultra Skate 2022. The weather was super duper hot. It forced everybody, including myself, to take a break.
Wow.
It was so hot, I was cramping. I had a nervous breakdown. I had like a panic attack, and I had to sit down. I took frequent breaks, so it was just like, yeah, I don't think I was gonna beat my personal record. I don't think I was gonna get 200 miles. I
I
don't think I was
saw
gonna
you
get
had
any.
a lot less mileage, but you still placed first.
Yeah,
I didn't
in
understand
the
why.
end,
So it was the heat.
everybody was taking so many breaks, especially people in my division.
Uh-huh.
And I had no choice but to keep going like a couple of times, like take frequent breaks and keep going, then take frequent breaks for like 20 minutes and keep going after like just take frequent breaks. I didn't break my personal miles of 160 miles. I only did 132 miles. As a result, I ended up becoming a champion. Champion!
Your
Which
first time,
that
right?
made up.
This year was your first time placing first, right?
I think that 132 miles it made up for that champion, that trophy I have in my house. I
Uh-huh.
can show it to you.
Okay. Yeah.
Ultra skate champion.
Yeah.
Put it back. Yeah, the weather was hot at Ultra Skate 2022, but however, it started raining during the evening.
Wow.
And as it rained, the weather cooled down, and that's when I kicked into gear at night. And only, despite of that, I only pushed 132 miles.
And you
So
skated in the rain.
even in the rain, I skated at Ultra Skate 2020 in the rain.
Damn.
So this Ultra Skate reminded me of Ultra Skate 2020 as well, because when it started raining, it gave me that homage when I was in pastel
Uh-huh.
goth. Because every time I dress in pastel mode, kawaii mode, it rains. Pastel doll skate trip from Cleveland to Chicago, it rained. Miami Ultra Skate, as a pastel girl, it rained.
That's amazing.
So when I had that pastel goth,
Yeah.
that pastel in
And
it,
you were
it
all
rained
wet,
for a little bit.
right? That's amazing.
Once again, it's like every time I dress in pastel, it
How do
rains.
you stay cute with mileage and rain and everything happening? Like, that's amazing. That's so inspiring to me.
you gotta keep yourself up. You gotta maintain. You gotta clean yourself out before because no lie, I was dirty, but I cleaned myself out before the podium
Oh, okay,
to
okay.
look good in it. So yeah, that's just a little bit of stuff. I can tell you a little bit of hidden stuff. So each Ultra Skate 2019, 154 miles, goth mode. Ultra Skate 2020, 160 miles, pastel mode. Ultra Skate 2022, pastel goth mode, 132 miles. Wait. 160 miles. Wait, let's start all over again. Miami Ultra Skate 2019, goth mode, 154 miles. Ultra Skate 2022. Wait, Ultra Skate 2020. My bad. Ultra Skate 2020, 160 miles. Pastel Kawaii mode to give a homage of the skate trip from Cleveland to Chicago. And Ultra Skate 2022, 132 miles, the lowest personal record. Despite that, I'm a champion, and I was in my pastel goth aesthetic, and the hot weather remind me of e-girl skate trip, so that hot weather.
That's outrageous.
It's just like every time I go to Ultra Skate, it gives like that homage of all my past skate trips.
Yeah.
I think the universe is kind of like looking out for me. Maybe I'm one of the chosen peers. I don't know, for real. Maybe I'm one of the chosen.
Skating chooses you a lot of times. You don't choose skating. Skating chooses you, especially when you do long distance like we do.
I just feel like we're living like in our own realities, like we have our own movies and story modes. That's what I think of existence.
Uh-huh.
So everybody's story is different. It's kind of like everybody got their own movie. That's what I kind of like see the whole world as.
Yeah.
Like everything works out in your favor. Sometimes it doesn't work out in your favor, but in the end, everything works out in the end for real. It's like everybody life is like a story. That's what I see the whole.
For somebody who is as awesome and amazing as you, of course. So if you guys don't know Raveena's Instagram handle, please follow Raveena. Go ahead, Raveena. Can you give them your Instagram handle?
Eternal_rodeo show, because I'm forever wild. Yeehaw! Eternal rodeo show, forever wild. That's what I call myself. Yeehaw!
Yeah.
Eternal
So please follow.
_rodeo show.
If you don't already, please follow, because you're going to be getting updates on Raveena's cross-country skateboard tour. She's a longboarder, and her longest distance will be from the East Coast, from the West Coast to the East Coast.
Or vice versa.
Yeah, you did say you might do vice versa. So please follow her. And does anybody have any questions for Raveena? We'll try to give maybe 5 minutes, but I know that the hour may be coming up soon. So
my biggest obstacle for getting across country is my family. Sometimes my family will worry about me and tell me, "Oh, come home. I don't want you to be out there in the wilderness." No. I gotta accomplish something big. Accomplishment no family has ever done. And I won't let none of that stop me. I don't care.
Even with the car, I was in a car, and I was across country, and they wanted me to come home for Christmas. Come home for Christmas.
That's like could be the biggest obstacle. It's not the weather. It's not my body. It's not the road. It's not the external things. It's pretty much the family want me to come home, or they're gonna try to manipulate me to come home. I refuse that. I will not give up. I just want to just accomplish something and end my 20s off with a bang. Period. With T in the end.
Well, I'm hoping that either this spring or fall, I will be getting to come to Cleveland, because people may not know, but Cleveland on my tour is my favorite city. I like it better than New York. Sorry, New York. I like it better than Atlanta. I am so sorry, Atlanta. I feel like a traitor when I have to say this, and people are like, Cleveland? Out of everything, why Cleveland? I don't know what it is. It's like it's a merge of like a 1800s town with a modern day mindset. You know, it's slow enough to be slow, but modern enough and fast enough to be different and innovative. It's right by the border of
Pennsylvania.
well, no, of Canada. So it's like Canada, and then all of these other states too: New York, Kentucky, Illinois, Michigan, Detroit, and the lake. Can I tell
Do
you
I look
about
like
the
I'm from?
lake? Lake Erie, right?
Of course.
Raveena took me to the lake. And, you know, my car was barely going, but we made it there. And that lake is like it has its own consciousness. If you ever get a chance to go to Lake Erie, I highly suggest it. I didn't understand how Raveena, there may be a question for you, so if you want to read it there, if you want to read the comments. But I didn't understand how a lake could be so powerful, you know? And I thought, this lake is so amazing that I think I wanted to help get it protected and write a law to help get that protected. And guess what? People already did that. People already wrote a law to get Lake Erie protected as an entity, as a sentient being. So Lake Erie is always protected. So if you ever get to travel and you go to Ohio, please go to Lake Erie and give it some love.
Have you been to Chicago?
Oh yeah, I've been to Chicago. Don't get me wrong. I love all these cities. I love Chicago. But there's just Cleveland is, because of that lake. It's extra beautiful.
It gives you that dreamlike vibes to you.
Yeah, I don't know. It's almost like, I think, you know, the lakes. You had told me that the lakes were created by a crater, like 1,000,000 years ago or something.
Ice age that melted.
Yeah, the Ice Age. Yeah, and the fact that that lake is still there, and it's just, there's nothing like standing in front of it. You're very blessed. Like, you live in a place that is just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you very much. Let's see, who was that? Tricky Disc.
I read it. I just want to say, Raveena, and your skate journey, your stories are so inspiring. Thank you. So, what do you think of my energy?
What do I think of your energy? Okay, so I didn't know what to expect when I met you. I thought you'd have a lot more of an attitude, you know, because I'm used to people being snappy. But you are fun, and you're a great person to be around. You are a little scatterbrained and all over the place, but it's not out of maliciousness or a desire to be seen. Raveena is a genuine soul, and
when I get hyped, I act like, yeah, bro, that's like totally, dude. I act like playful. When I'm hyped and I'm in that area, proximity of them, I get that energy. So I absorb energy from others, which unleashes that certain personality, because like I get that energy.
Okay, well, I think we're going to sign off. And if you all enjoyed this story, I'm going to be doing more stories. And there will be a new series of interviews just like we did today with Raveena, talking about people's experiences with rides. So this is called the Ride Experience. I'll be interviewing, talking, relating. I'm very glad to have had the opportunity to build a relationship with Raveena over a period of about a year now, right?
This is the same month we met.
Oh my God! I was in Cleveland this time last year. It's amazing. What does that say? What is your? Oh wait, no, sorry. I thought she was asking about endurance. Sorry. Okay. No. So yeah. So I am very blessed to have to meet you, and I look forward to spending time with you. When I come, I probably won't have a car, so we'll probably have to bus and commute skate everywhere. But
Oh, bust it. Okay, we can bust it.
and Uber,
Bust it.
bus,
Bust it. Bust it.
yeah, bus and Uber. That's what I'm gonna do later today. Be Ubering home from the skate park. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'm so excited. And if you ever get a chance and you're in Cleveland, or if you're in the Northwest area, pay attention to Raveena's route to see if you are in the area. You can host her, you can help her. We're going to be doing a fundraiser to help Raveena find places to stay, be able to help get, so that way she can get food and supplies and housing, to help her as she goes across the country, to help bring awareness to mental illness.
Mental health,
Mental health.
race, and LGBTQ,
Yes,
and also women's rights as well.
women's rights. She wants to make history as the first Black woman to skate from one coast to the next. So follow her at eternal_rodeo show here on IG, and stay up to date with her journey and her skate across the country that will be coming in the fall. All right.
Hey,
Thank you, and stay here, follow me. I will probably be doing another interview, maybe next week or the week after. I haven't decided if the ride experience is going to be a weekly or bi-weekly interview. But for now, signing off.
see ya. Period.